This is Sybert signing into Red Alert 3 on the map, Infinity Isle. We have got ourselves a classic 1v1. Been doing a lot of longer series, been doing a lot of longer videos. Wanted to jump into some regular old 1v1s to kind of finish out the month of October, assuming this comes out in October. On the left side, as the yellow Soviets, this is DDF. And on the right side, playing very thematic for his faction and for his name as the Blue Allies, it's Freeze. Barracks Refinery for Freeze. Okay, everything looking normal. This is Freeze is a Chinese player. DDF, I don't know. Might be Russian, I'm not sure. But both of these guys are playing under different account names, and DDF's name has, I think, Chinese characters in the name. It's like, it's 3 letters and then like a hyphen and some Chinese characters. And Freeze is playing under his alias Dentalian, or Danitalian, I don't remember which one, but he's playing Dentalian, so we are going based on the person who posted the replay, what they said. And I mean, DDF is a Soviet player. Freeze is, I think, an Allied player. I'm not as familiar with Freeze to know for sure, but it would definitely make sense that DDF is the Soviet player. Into low power mode for just a moment as the power plant finishes up. Conscript's going to get pushed away, and the Conscript's not going to turn to try and take down the oil derrick. Sometimes you'll see an attempt at an early victory there. It is going to be War Factory after Double Refinery. First couple of Bullfrogs coming on out. And it looks like the MCV moving immediately to the high ground. Dog blocking the potential third location. Do want to say a big thanks to the folks who support the channel over on Patreon. I use that very much like a tip jar. The bear gets a roar off from the sky just as he dies there. So the bear's sacrificing himself, but it looks like the conscripts will barely be able to take that building. That was a funny little moment here. Third refinery already up and running for both players, so keeping even in that regard and trying to win these early game skirmishes. 3 Bullfrogs out. No 4th Bullfrog just yet. It's going to be a super reactor kind of competing for the funds there. But yeah, big thanks to the folks who support me over on Patreon. And if this comes out in October, the second half of October, I am basically out of town for work the whole time, so I'm pre-recording a bunch of stuff. I think I have enough to make it like 3 weeks with, I don't know, 2 or 3 videos each week, and just been very busy for the last month with very patchy work schedule, so I haven't had a lot of consistent time like I did back in August and September. So many fewer videos recently, but still, I think they've been some pretty good ones. Some experimental videos, and maybe a little something for everyone, even though not that the videos are for everyone. Some of them are definitely a little more niche, but love that we get to see Freeze versus DDF. This is not the community patch, by the way. This is the regular version of Infinity Isle. Hammer tanks, ooh, and the... Wow, I cannot believe Freeze let this happen. The MCV getting caught by this terror drone. He should be able to clean this up probably by sacrificing a Vindicator, but at the same time trying to pressure this naval yard, and he shuts the naval yard down, so he gets the kill in both places. But I can believe that this MCV got delayed this much. Of course, if there had been a terror drone to get the infect, this would have been even worse. DDF actually going to be using the bears as an effective body block for that terror drone, and just a super delay on getting up to the high ground, buying DDF more time. I'm not sure what he's actually been able to do with that time since he didn't get the naval yard up, but if he had been able to get the naval yard up, that might have been something. At the very least, he delayed that MCV going to the high ground, and the barracks is going to be the choice as the first building on the high ground. 4 Riptides split off to the north, a Vindicator and Apollo perhaps running a bit of guard for them, and it looks like the airfield was the thing that got constructed. So the naval yard didn't go up, but we have the first twin blade popping on out, and that is going to help DDF considerably in dealing with this allied pressure. Takes a swing at that Peacekeeper just a little bit, and Conscript's going to get jumped into that, going to get launched, I guess, into that base. The Apollo takes a couple of shots there, but wow, Dantelian, Freeze being very cautious with his Apollo, not wanting to overcommit there. And of course, if he closed in on those twin blades, they definitely would have gotten chewed up by those bullfrogs on the ground. But just this little dance between these two players as they are desperately trying to gain a bit of an edge every single bit. The conscripts trying to clean the peacekeepers out of the building, the twin blades taking shots at the javelin soldiers while themselves trying to maintain distance from the Apollos. Looks like that harvester was able to cloak itself once again, that adaptive armor or that reactive armor doing wonders for the Soviet harvesters, but the splash damage on the refinery being a bit of a killer. Really good twin blade numbers considering how late that airfield came up relative to some other stuff. So that MCV delay did not do any sort of game-winning... That was not a game-winning strategy in itself, but that was a lot of time to get up those twin blades, to get out that Air Force. And they're a little bit late responding to this Dolphin, but the Terror Drone is actually going to get the kill on the Dolphin, while the Harvester remains at half health. Vindicators coming in, they want to do the splash damage. They actually just go for the refinery. They don't even go for the Harvester. And another Harvester gets sniped, but it costs a Vindicator. So relatively even trade, but the delay to DDF's economy is not something that he can afford at this point. Allies tend to be more efficient with less economy. And so when you're playing Soviets, which tend to be less efficient and require more economy overall, you do not want to be down in the eco game, even by 1 inch. Fifth refinery going to be coming up. It's a flak cannon to support it, but no bullfrogs, no MiGs in the immediate area, which means the Riptides are going to have their way. The refinery may survive, but the flak cannon may not. It may be forced to cancel. The MiGs finally do show up. The Riptides get jumped on by the twin blades. Good defense there from DDF, and actually these buildings here on the ground are enough to delay the Riptide attacks just enough that the twin blades were able to skate in and save the day. MiGs re-showing up with the flak cannon as it finishes, but the Riptides are here, and the twin blades are now officially too late to save it. The Akula sub pops on out just at the last moment. It might actually grab one of these Riptides, restarts the flak cannon. Good choice by DDF. And Ultra Torpedoes maybe to sink one of these Riptides, and he actually is going to get 2 Riptides very nicely there. Trades them out for the Akula sub, and might actually get a twin blade as well. The IFV's right on the edge. Perfect positioning there for Freeze. Meanwhile, he splits off another Dolphin, 2 Dolphins to the south side of the map. Just 1 twin blade to try and clean them up. The Harvester will go down. DDF needs to get that back up and running nice and quick, but the Dolphins will do some pretty significant damage to that refinery regardless. 2 Akula subs do manage to sneak out. Wow, this Akula sub, DDF actually managed to save that guy against all of those Riptides, with the IFVs watching over top, and somehow not everything died, which is pretty darn good. Flak cannon also survives that engagement for just a moment. Akula subs possibly just waiting for their Ultra Torpedoes to reset. Riptide goes down, and now it's going to be targeting, ooh, almost gets it, but that hydrofoil is quick with the weapons jammer. Gonna have to cycle between the two of them as the Vindicators come in. He doesn't actually go for for waiting around. He just goes for the kill on. He just goes for the bomb drop on one Akula sub. The other one underwater. DDF very careful to cycle his Akula subs. And DDF also being so careful with his twin blades for the majority of this time. MiGs showing up to dance with the Apollos. One Apollo goes down. Still more harassment in the south as it looks like a hydrofoil showing up without its weapons jammer. Loses it to the Tesla coil. The Harvester back online for Freeze. And Freeze now going to almost be losing this hydrofoil, but the weapons jammer coming out just in time. The Apollos, or the MiGs, are here to catch the Vindicators, but they're a little slow. A little bad positioning there by DDF. A little too cautious as the twin blades swing in, and the MiG's going to be losing it to the MiGs, or the Apollo's going to be losing it to the MiGs. Such a back and forth dance between these two players. Every single position feels critical as these guys are just on the edge, but no tier 3. Freeze has not managed to get out that tier 3, which means this dance will continue. And the longer this dance continues, the more likely it is that Freeze will make a mistake that DDF will be able to capitalize on low power mode for that Tesla coil, so the Dolphin will be able to escape. But the Akula sub's going to be forcing the sell-off, and this is the beginning of the end. This is why you need Athena cannons, why you need that tier 3 on the ground to start pressuring the MCV, to start pressuring the production of DDF, because he starts doing stuff like this, closing in on the outside. And it looks like the naval yard has been rebuilt on the south side of the island. The Apollo's able to catch a couple of these twin blades, but again, DDF so careful, refueling his twin blades, getting them healed up very nicely. And it's actually going to be an aircraft carrier coming out here. I don't know that for sure, but I assume it's going to be an aircraft carrier coming out here for Freeze, and that will be perhaps the beginning of the comeback. He's not back up to those 4 refineries just yet, but that's okay. He's got the naval yard there. Apollo's swinging through the MiGs, refueling somewhere else, keeping them off the ground, and this is actually 5 MiGs in total. The potential to go up to 8, and the naval yard is going to get shut down once again, and before anything can really come out, you got a Dolphin out, but no aircraft carrier, no tier 3 units, not even an assault destroyer. It looks like he was going for hydrofoils, though, so he may not have even been going for an aircraft carrier. He's got tier 3. The Athena cannon on the low ground, going to clean up this water expansion. It's going to be hard for DDF to stop. Athena cannons on the high ground, starting to push away those Akula subs. And Javelin soldiers, IFVs, and Apollos, all an anti-twin blade task force. Freeze has started to do it. He's building up to that ultimate allied comp, and he has been so good about keeping so many of his units alive. Bullfrog gets tagged by that multi-gunner turret. Hydrofoil going to try and get the save of this Akula sub. Very careful positioning there of that Akula sub. He does get the kill on the multi-gunner turret. MiGs responding to the Apollos in the north. And, oh, he can't. I don't think he can quite get that command hub. He probably needs ultra torpedoes to finish it off quickly. Doesn't quite have it. Long-distance mining for DDF. Freezes up to those couple of Athena cannons. He's got one more here. He's got one on the low ground there. The other one is backing away from the ridge. I don't know that Freeze has been able to sneak out an additional Athena cannon. Cryocopter out on the field, trying to clean up this refinery, clean up this flak cannon, but it's just out of range. The rebuilt flak cannon, the rebuilt refinery. Sentry bomber is also here on the deck. Vindicator's coming in for another pass. The assault destroyer is here to clean up the Akula sub. Ultra torpedoes fire, they miss the hydrofoil, they miss the multi-gunner turret. Everything going wrong here for DDF on the water. Natasha coming out for the snipe of the assault destroyer, but the assault destroyer pulls away. Apollo's swinging through. They absorb a couple of shots here so the Vindicators can come in and try and get a kill. It doesn't actually help. The Vindicator gets sniped. The Harvester survives with just a bit less health. Dolphins once again getting shut down by these twin blades. Looks like the Harvester has survived. Naval Yard trying to get re-established for DDF so we can get more Akula subs out onto the field. But Natasha is going to be the choice to try and break that expansion. MiG showing up to clean up the Sentry bombers as they get one of them. The Apollo's getting some free damage, and the Dreadnought already down to half health, trying desperately to get out of range, and he may actually sink the hydrofoil. The twin blades helping a little as well, but the Kirov is out. It has been spotted. The long distance mining gets shut down, and DDF, he himself is trying to pull out every play in the book, looking for every possible opportunity that he can maybe get something done, trying to reestablish his naval expansion. The assault destroyer gets sniped, and Natasha pulls back onto land, and I think this is 2 Kirovs out. Yeah, 2 Kirovs. 3 Kirovs can be really hard to stop. 2 Kirovs maybe with the Apollos. You know, you've got double airfield worth of Apollos, maybe 4 Apollos in total, and the IFVs plus the Javelin soldiers. 2 Kirovs, depending on the angle, Those can be dealt with without really any damage. Three Kirovs, you really need a lot of firepower. Shrink on the Dreadnought, but a second Dreadnought does emerge, which means this naval yard, or this water expansion, is going to be potentially under threat. If DDF realizes that, Aegis Shield fires off, trying to keep this Athena cannon safe. The Twin Blades coming in for another pass. The Apollo's going to be sacrificing one Apollo. The other Apollos manage to escape away, and the Athena cannon survives. The Twin Blades not coming in for another pass, although this would be the moment, just as that Aegis Shield expires. Natasha swings around to the north side. Refinery starting to get harassed by that Dreadnought. It's a very active moment here, and the Athena cannon gets sniped. DDF has to sort of work everything in a rotation. He has to cycle around the north and the south side of the map. He has to push sort of with multiple, like, prongs at every moment. He can't just have a Dreadnought. He has to have a Natasha as well. He has to be able to counter the cryocopters and the Athena cannon. Engineer gets sniped. The Engineer trying to revive this Assault Destroyer. The Akula subs looking to break this expansion with the help of the satellites. I think they're going to be able to do it. The Ultra Torpedoes, not enough. He only has the 2. The Dreadnought, I think, is back online. The Athena cannon maybe getting the snipe. No, the Dreadnought cycling back up to the north side where it's a little bit further away. Cryo blast firing off here, gets the refinery, gets everything except for the naval yard, so the rebuild can happen, but this Dolphin, fully heroic, is going to break down that naval yard as quickly as it can. The refinery getting sniped out on the water. This one has not been reestablished, down to just 3 refineries, one of them under threat, as DDF, again, cycling every single side of the map. Freeze himself trying to just come back with, like, this mass harassment strategy, just poking and prodding DDF every way he can, but DDF's defense is a little too tight-knit. DDF is having trouble breaking the water. The Dreadnought not going down, getting shrunken. Once again, Freeze getting so close. He got so close to that ultimate allied composition, but he hasn't been able to do it. Beautiful spread of those missiles from that Dreadnought, impacting quite perfectly. He gets... No, he doesn't get the Athena cannon. Barely, not enough firepower to get that Athena cannon. A second Dreadnought? No, that's an Akula. But there could be another Dreadnought on the way. Riptide, or Dolphin, getting so much damage on that refinery, but not enough to clean it up. Sentry Bombers coming in. They clean up one refinery, but will they actually go down? The MiGs are coming in. They're going to try and pick them up on the curve. Bullfrogs also getting a bit of an angle there. Hydrofoils to push the MiGs away as the Iron Curtain finishes up. 3 minutes on the clock there as the Apollos swing back away. One Sentry Bomber goes down, but I think everything else survived, and the Dreadnought is now out, packing along a Terror Drone as well, and the Prism Tower, the Spectrum Tower rather, is going to go down eventually. The Dolphin going to try and come in here. The Dolphin gets the snipe on both Terror Drones. The Akula sub going to not actually be utilized as a second Akula sub turning out. And now with the Dreadnoughts here, it might be too much. DDF has 2 Dreadnoughts in the north, 1 in the south. The Dolphin gets sniped. Chronosphere, that's his goal, to try and restart this process. He's going to be able to snipe the Dreadnoughts if they're too close together. Apollo's returning to base. And this is an entirely naval and air game. I just realized how little there has been on the ground throughout the entirety of this game. They had that tussle early on. Conscripts, bears, dogs, and peacekeepers all in the middle of the map. But other than that, Hydrofoil is going to get jumped on by these Twin Blades. You know, the Akula's keeping them away. The Assault Destroyer trying to cycle in. These Akula subs need to jump on this Assault Destroyer. Cryocopter, Twin Blades showing up. The Assault Destroyer gets eaten up, and the Hydrofoil pushes away those Twin Blades. Weapons Jammer being used on the on the Bullfrogs, not actually on the Akula subs. EMP from the aircraft carrier locking down those Akula subs, and Freeze trying to use just every single trick in the book. He's going to get Natasha with the triple cryocopter Freeze. The Vindicator coming in for the kill, but he has to make this choice. Freeze down the Bullfrogs or keep Natasha frozen. The Bullfrogs cycling around. So many Bullfrogs for DDF, and the aircraft carrier gets the kill. Natasha survives. She's going for the snipe. The aircraft carrier is trying to cycle out of range, just barely keeping alive. The Athena cannon's going down in the north. This expansion has been established, but finally the closing in is happening. The Kirov splitting themselves up. One Kirov taking the water expansion, the other one distracting the Apollos and going for land. Should go ahead and clean up that command hub as well. There's so many Apollos, so many IFVs. Meanwhile, Natasha back out on the water as the Akulazubs push the aircraft carriers away further and further from the front line of DDF, but at the same time, another Dolphin sneaks through the defenses, forcing that reactive armor to keep that harvester offline. Riptide's power plants and even this refinery finally getting eliminated as the Apollos go for the protection, and the Natasha gets sniped once again, finally going down to the aircraft carrier. The Akulazubs pushing forward, trying to sacrifice themselves to go for the kill, and it looks like Natasha did get the snipe on one aircraft carrier. The other one has gone fully heroic, but it's only one aircraft carrier to worry about. The Kirov getting the kill on this command hub, sort of forced to as the Apollos push it away. The Dreadnoughts still shelling from afar, and the satellites impacting, cleaning up the naval yard. Looks like that aircraft carrier went down as well. Chronosphere, only 12 seconds left. Cryocopters are flying around, just looking for a target, but also only down to, like, that half health mode. Is that... Oh, for a second I thought that was splash damaging the aircraft carrier. Chronosphere is ready. Iron Curtain is ready. Could even use the Iron Curtain on this refinery just to keep it alive a bit longer. Stop it from taking damage. I'm surprised these Dreadnoughts haven't been chronosphered, one of them at least. Natasha is back out. Natasha, the anti-aircraft carrier weapon. The black hole armor, not good enough. Vindicators are here. Cryocopters are here. There's the snipe. She gets the fully heroic aircraft carrier. He's going to try and trap Natasha. No, the Cryocopters don't swing in, so the Bullfrog's scary enough that the Cryocopters won't engage. The Kirov comes in. Somehow this Kirov survived, or this is a second Kirov. It's a double vet, now going fully heroic as it cleans up another refinery. He's down to just 2 refineries. Dantalion down to, Freeze down to low power mode as well. That's about to be fine as he's going to be losing some of these buildings. Freeze is getting choked out, but he's got such a powerful army regardless. Ultra torpedoes to finish the job, but the Akulazub gets sunk. Power plants are a powerful thing for Freeze in this game. That static D has been buying him so much time. It's been buying him so much protection, especially on the south side of the map. DDF doesn't have the army strong enough to just walk in. He can shell from afar, but as soon as he steps in close to Freeze, he has some real potential problems on his hands. Double flak cannon coming back up, and it's going to be an Iron Curtain to keep the flak cannons alive. Beautiful move here by DDF. Freeze has no choice but to return to base. Conscript gets sniped in the middle of the map. Natasha trying to circle the enemy here. Once again out on the water. The Spectrum Tower still standing strong. It hasn't been eliminated all this time. Aircraft carrier fully heroic out on the water. Hasn't been reclaimed just yet. Another Athena cannon going down. Low power mode for DDF. He needs to get himself some more power plants up and running. Gets himself back online. Cryocopters cycling back to the main base. Ooh, sells off his... I mean, he's already got the upgrades, but he sells off the Defense Bureau. He's already got his Tier 3, and he doesn't want a Proton Collider, it seems. Good Twin Blade numbers. The Athena Cannon going to try and take some shots. The Bullfrog's here to body block for those Athena Cannon, or for those Twin Blades. The Athena Cannon right on the edge. The MiG cycling in as well. And there's going to be Natasha sniping. So she snipes the Athena Cannon on the high ground. Big delay there to that Athena cannon getting back online. The Apollos show up. They manage to grab 1, 2 twin blades, maybe just the one, as this aircraft carrier gets saved just barely by the black hole armor of that assault destroyer. But here comes round 2. The Athena cannon also manages to escape. Finally, cryocopters go for the shrink. They manage to escape as well, but they couldn't do anything more than shrink. Mirage tank numbers are starting to build up. That's actual genuine rock. I thought that was 2 Mirage tanks next to each other, but it's just the one apparently. Command hub reestablished. Refinery's back online. Only 1 Dreadnought out here on the water, and DDF not quite as active as he maybe could be. Only 1 minute on the chronosphere to be used again. Oh, that was Terror Drone. I thought that was Natasha getting sniped. Finally, the oil derrick going down. Would be nice if he could get the chronosphere as well, but the cryocopters are here to try and stop that. Ooh, bunch of power plants having to be sold off. Satellites getting called in. Lovely move there by DDF, forcing the sell-off of those satellites. And the cryocopters get pulled away as well. Nice splash there. All right, Natasha trying to move in on this naval yard. Every inch that DDF makes in progress against Freeze is a extremely difficult thing to do. Toxins? Is he calling toxins in on this building, but also to deny... Yeah, he's going to clear out the Peacekeepers and also deny that Athena cannon from being captured again. Bullfrog's getting shrunk down, but it won't stop the Dreadnoughts. They're going to clean up the chronosphere. And that is the chance. That is the moment. Even the Iron Curtain firing off just in time. And oh, that Dreadnought is using its afterburners. That's why it's firing so fast. I thought that was 2 Dreadnoughts out there, but it's indeed just 1. And this is how DDF does it. That's how DDF freezes Freeze. The GG gets called. The Iron Curtain, fully heroic, sped up Dreadnought was the thing to beat. And Freeze takes the L there, but what a game from both of these guys. An incredible back and forth, almost entirely aircraft and naval forces. The two things combined, providing an incredibly entertaining match on Infinity Isle. And Freeze keeping so close on that economy for 80% of that game, only really at the end pulling apart dramatically. I mean, this is a few thousand credits here, but spread across, 20 minutes or whatever, that was not much of a difference. In the end, it ends up being 35,000, 36,000 credits of difference. But, man, Freeze did an amazing job of staying in that game despite everything DDF was throwing at him, and DDF just couldn't finish him off. Freeze playing that so efficiently at the end of the day, but that will do it for this game, for this video. Great replay, and thank you all very much for watching. Thanks to these folks for playing, and this is Sybert, signing out.